Hey guys, this week we are presenting a second listen of our podcast with Lindsay Nastoff and Heather Schroeder. I'm on vacation this week, and Pastor Ross doesn't know how to work all the buttons, so we hope that you enjoy a re-listen of this podcast. Well, hey guys, I'm Dom, and we're off script. You've once again found our weekly podcast designed to educate, entertain, and ultimately bring you into a closer relationship with the Lord. Now, this week, Pastor Ross is gone, but don't feel too sad about that. He has left us in good hands. Today, joining us in our studio, which if you can call it a studio, is Lindsay Nastoff and Heather Schroeder. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you what they do here at our church. But they're both on staff here at the church. And as you guys know, when Pastor Ross isn't here, I like to take the opportunity for us to get to know some of the other staff members that are here. You guys don't know all of the different people behind the scenes that it takes to make the ministry happen here at Res Life. It's not just Pastor Ross on a Sunday, and there's so many other people, or myself doing the no video once in a while. But this is a wonderful opportunity for us to get to know additional people here at the church. So Lindsay, on my left, just share with us, tell us your name and how long you've been attending here at Res Life.
All right. Hi, guys. I am Lindsay Nastoff. I am the Children's Ministry Director here. And I started attending, my husband and I, in fall of 2016. So we are coming up on 10 years. Yeah.
That's about when I came on full-time staff here.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So we love it. It is, neither of us are native to Big Rapids. So we were looking to we had a young family at the time and looking to where we were going to go and settle in. And, I thought about this the other day with our slogan, church isn't a building you walk into, but it's a family you belong to. And truly the reason that we stayed was because in the Big Rapids area was because of this church. So we didn't have any ties other than that. So we felt so connected here that we decided to buy a house and started our kids in schools, and this is where we're at.
You said your husband's Chad.
Yeah.
Now you have some little ones too.
We do. Yes. So we have Emerson is 12, and then we have Ava. She is 9, and Callan 6.
And I'll just say this for the record, your 6-year-old, he has more energy than any 3 children that I've ever had. Like, he never stops running.
So I have 6 kids.
I don't know what you feed him.
He is a ball of energy. You are not wrong there.
And Heather, same thing. How long have you been attending here at Res Life, and how did you get here?
Yeah. Hey, friends. So I'm Heather Schroeder. If we haven't met, I am the Connections Director here at Res Life. So it's like this hat of all of the things that we all tend to wear here. I oversee all of the First Impressions ministries, which is, if you see a face of somebody and they're smiling, they're probably falling under my team. During the week, I get to do different ministry application things. So all of the behind the scenes with that. Different classes, if you wanted to have a class here at Res Life, I'm the one you get to talk to about where you're going to be and when you're going to be. And then the second and fourth Monday, I have the honor of doing women's Bible study with Tina Meyer. So that's just been really fun. And all of the other things that we get to do in between, and putting out fires and figuring stuff out with the other staff.
Now, putting out fires is kind of an appropriate term for you to use because you were married.
I am married.
And you're married to your husband, Steve.
Yes.
Who is the
fire chief of the city of Big Rapids.
Little play on words there, putting out fires.
So I've been coming to Res Life for about 9 years with my kids. And then Steve and I had gotten married. It's almost been, 3-4 years. And
whoa.
I know, I had to think
3
about it.
3 or 4, which is it? No pressure.
22. We got married in July of 22. So 4 years. We're going on 4 years.
All
been
right.
married for 3.
Right.
We have a blended family.
Okay.
So that makes it so we have 7 children. And every time you say that, it's like the jaw drops on the people. And it's like, oh, yeah, you heard us.
Yeah, take that, Pastor Ross, with your 5 kids.
Our kids range from almost 19 all the way down to 10. So we have like all of the different stages of life happening right now.
So a lot of busyness going on in your home.
So much busyness, but it's so much fun,
And you also raise animals.
We do raise animals. We talk about like how many animals do we actually have on the farm?
Yeah.
We have probably over 60 animals right now. Just you start counting them all up, and it's pretty fun though. My favorite is the mini donkey. He's like a little dog that just will follow you around. He's loud though. Be prepared for that.
What's his name?
Nazareth
the donkey.
I wish I would have named him Nazareno. I didn't know that was an option, though.
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
Oh, man.
A lot of joking going on here today.
Good job out there. That was a good one.
For those of you that don't know, my middle name is Nazareno.
It's out.
Family
It is
name.
out.
I wasn't going to tell him. I was
I
just going
know.
to
Throw that in there.
You
Yeah.
want to leave it. I will come clean on that. It's a family name. I've actually passed it down to my son. Hopefully, if he has children,
Who now
son.
goes by Naz.
He goes by Reno.
By Reno.
He goes by Reno.
the bottom part or the end part of it. Yep.
We named him Hunter, and that wasn't cool enough.
No,
When you get to be 20 years old, he wants to go by Reno.
I like it.
So, well, Lindsay, I'm going to go back to you for a second. Tell us a little bit more about what the next gen. What does that mean? If someone's listening today and maybe they just started attending our church and they're like, yeah, I heard about this thing, next gen. What is that?
So we are Sunday school, if you go back to, days of when I was a kid. But yeah, it is for children ages birth through 5th grade. So we have different class sizes. We have our nursery, a toddler room, a 3 and a 4-year-old classroom, and then a room that's kindergarten and 1st grade. And then our big next gen room is 2nd through 5th. So lots of ages. We service 200 kids on average, and it's been more than that when when we've had higher attendance. But we're busy on a Sunday, so it's good. Kids are coming through and learning about God and learning about His love. And
you don't just do things on Sunday. You also are in charge of our VBS.
Correct.
And you also pitch in, just wherever else you're needed here at the church, different community events that we do. You'll often see Lindsay and her kids out and about.
Are you thinking of snow cones?
I was thinking of snow cones.
Dom's got a smirk. So yeah, we do like to jump in and help out in those community events. My husband and I both have a passion for our community. So it's a good combo, and our kids tag along. And so with that brings a little bit of a craziness because you said our kids are high energy. So they help every once in a while.
They do. So tell me, you said that we serve about 200 kids here on a Sunday. So for those of you that aren't aware, our church runs anywhere between 1,300 and 1,500 on a Sunday, total people. 200 to 250 of those are children that are specifically in your ministry area every Sunday. Yep. That's a small school.
It is a small school.
When you think about it, that's a small school. How many volunteers does it take on a Sunday for you to make all of that happen?
To run well on a Sunday, we need about 50 a week. So, that's classroom teachers, helpers, and then, with 3 services, we're trying to fill those spots. But and then trying to have people out front that are helping at the check-in desk. And
so I can help in the next gen area, even if per se I'm not going to be in there teaching kids. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. We have a spot for you.
So there are lots of opportunities.
Yes.
And there's background checks and training and all of those things that you have to go through. But when you guys think about it, just every week, 200 to 250 kids that come through our doors, and Lindsay and her team have the wonderful responsibility of really sharing God's love with them each and every week. One of the things that kind of always amazes me is that you put together all of the lesson plans, and you really put everything in place so that when the volunteer teacher comes in, they're not home doing lesson plans.
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
So we do use a curriculum, and I prepare all the materials that we need for that curriculum ahead of time. So I use little baskets, so they're in the classrooms ready to go. And our curriculum's super friendly. It's very popular one that a lot of churches use, but it is kind of scripted. So it's easy, very user friendly, where you're walking through the activities and the scripture part and the story. And it's very user friendly and easy to use. So our teachers, we have a great crew though, and our teachers are phenomenal. And I just, appreciate anyone that serves, honestly, that is being obedient to that and just helping our church run, the way it should run. Yeah.
Now, Heather, you talked about first impressions, and you kind of said anybody with a smiling face, kind of that was your area. What different? Because I can think of a few different areas, but what different areas just on a Sunday does that pertain to?
Well, that is going to start right when you walk in the door. So we have our greeters team, and we have our connection desk. So you'll usually see me and sometimes some other people standing there just ready to help. From there, you can kind of move through the foyer. We have our hospitality team. They're the ones that are keeping us energized on a Sunday morning.
They might be the most important people on a Sunday morning.
I think, Pastor Ross would probably agree with you too.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he's here early, he is very thankful that they come in at 6:30 in the morning and start making coffee.
I think we all are, aren't we? Some of the other people that you'll notice is at the right in front of the door, we've got ushers coming into the sanctuary. So they're helping people get seated. They're counting how many people we have in there. So that's part of our team. And we have our prayer team, which usually sit up at the front, and they're always there on a Sunday morning ready to pray with you.
So Heather, same question. On a Sunday morning, about how many people does it take for your area to run all the three services that we have?
We probably need about 50 or more people also.
Wow.
When you look at all of the services. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's wonderful when, especially when new people come to our church. One of the things a comment that we hear repeatedly is they felt welcome. And, when I think about the area of ministry that you supervise, making sure, that doesn't always happen everywhere. And we can always talk about, people who they came in and maybe they fell through the cracks and they didn't feel welcome. But I'll tell you, I know the effort that your team puts into making sure that when a person walks in the door, and sometimes it's people who've been coming here for years, sometimes it's the person who this is their first Sunday here, making sure each person feels seen, that they're known, and that ultimately they're loved by Christ because of the way that that love is expressed through what they do every day.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the number one things we see on the connection cards is that I felt welcomed. I felt like it was a family. And I think it's awesome we get to stand by that. One of the teams that I missed was our parking lot team.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely appreciate them with this negative 20-degree weather, still going out there and being willing to serve. And they walk in smiling.
That's
that just
dedication.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. So those of you that are aware, every week when Pastor Ross and Allison, they ask us to fill out those connection cards, we actually look at those. We gather all those up, and each week during our staff meeting, we just kind of go over not any specific intimate details, but when people talk about, hey, how'd you hear about our church? Hey, what are some things we can improve on? What were your, what things, led you to come here? We look at those each and every week. And that's one of your jobs, is to put all of that information together and then share it with the rest of the staff.
Yeah, it is really fun to read through those. I mean, we do have the occasional time when there's stuff that we need to improve on, and we welcome that. But it is fun getting to see what people are enjoying.
Yeah.
And then I get to follow up on them too. So if you ever get a text message from somebody and it says Res Life Big Rapids, it is not a computer behind it. It is me.
There's a real person behind that.
There is always a real person behind the stuff that you guys are getting.
Now, you both mentioned that you've been attending here at Res Life about 10 years or so. What brought you, before you were on, and you're on staff here, so I'm going to ask you kind of a two-part question. The first part is, how long have you been on staff? What kind of brought you to be on staff here at Res Life? And what did you do before that?
All right.
Lindsay, we'll start with you.
Sure. I have been here. I started August 2024. So this August will be 2 years. I guess I'll kind of rewind. I graduated from Western Michigan University with a teaching degree. And I've done various things along the lines, but I've not been full-time in a classroom. And once Chad and I started having kids and we were really focusing on a family, I wasn't sure that was something that was a passion of mine anymore. Still loving children and loving to teach them, but being full-time in a classroom was not my priority. So I took a couple years where I was really focusing on the family, and then I directed a daycare center for a few years. And then I felt like it was good for my family to go back into a school setting. So I went back as a parapro and loved that. I loved being able to be the helper, the helping hands, and not the I loved teaching them. I would do small groups, but also what do you need from me? I will do all the things, and being able to pour into the teacher, into the kids. And then there was a Sunday where we were, customary to our church and our congregation is that we pray over families when they are when they're coming on to staff. So that was happening on a Sunday, and I was got a vision that we were going to be on stage, and so I just looked at my husband and I said, I can see that being us, but there was not a whole lot of conversation there, and he just was like, So a couple months after that, Chad and I were having a conversation with Ross and Allison, and Chad just kind of randomly said, Lindsay can see herself on staff in some way. And the need at that moment had been, I think, a couple months that the previous children's director had said, hey, I'm looking to step away. Her and her husband were moving downstate. And so they knew the need was there. I didn't know the need was there. And so God had kind of worked in a couple areas of my heart and my life, but completely oblivious in the time. And so Ross, knowing, was like, really? Tell me more. And so we got into this conversation of that they needed someone in on this backside at church. They were just hoping that God would put it on someone's heart. They were all kind of thinking, there was a couple pastors here that were thinking I would fit the job. And so that was something that God just orchestrated, and it was super cool. And that started the whole process of that. But when I look back and I see the way that things are run here on a Sunday are very similar to daycare. And then the education that I have in elementary education, God is so cool because he gave me I had 3 or 4 years at daycare, and then I had another couple years at school. And so he just gave me the little nuggets that I needed to prepare me for this job. And I've always had a passion of working in a faith-based atmosphere. And so being able to be here and work with our team is phenomenal. So it's a blessing, and I love what I do.
Heather, same question. Kind of what brought you to be on staff here, and what did you do before that?
All right. I'll be honest, I never would have expected I would get the honor to work at a church. And I was thinking about that the other day, that it really is an honor that God trusts me to work here. And looking back, it was totally God orchestrated. So previously, I actually worked in human resources for about 7 years, and I had my dream job. I really did. I loved my team. I was kind of working my way up to being our HR director for a very large company, and I loved what I did. And I remember there was a moment where I was miserable and I couldn't figure it out. And I just kept talking to my husband, and I would tell him, nothing is wrong. There's nothing wrong with my job. There's nothing wrong with my team. But I did not want to be where I wanted to be. And then I felt like God had put it in my heart, like, you're supposed to be in ministry. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't feel equipped for it. So I kind of, I shoved it down and I just kept working. And I'll never forget, we had talked about it for like 6 months, and I was at a night of worship and I could feel it. God was like, you need to put your 2 weeks in. I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have conversations with anybody. And after the night of worship, I made my decision. I'm like, I'm going to do it. My husband's amazing. He's like, months before that, he's like, you do whatever God is telling you to do. And I'm like, well, maybe it's not God. Maybe it's me. You talk yourself out of that. And I went up to a friend, and she had no idea I'd even been thinking about this. And she gave me confirmation that was 100% God. And I knew that I was doing the right thing. So I did. I went and I put in my 2 weeks, which turned into a little bit longer. But after that, God just started opening these doors that I didn't even know that were here. And conversations were kind of had that allowed me to talk to the staff here about coming and working at Res Life. And it has been such an amazing experience. But I'll be honest, my first 6 months in ministry was probably my hardest, because you talk about spiritual attacks happening, like that was nuts. I don't even I can't even explain what happened when I first got into ministry, and just making it through that was quite the journey,
Well, I think that, anytime we're stepping outside of our comfort zone and really relying on God and really moving toward what we feel he has for our life, that's the time when the devil wants to break us down.
Oh, 100%.
And attack our family, attack our relationships, whatever he can do to discourage us from doing that thing that we know God has really called us to do, he'll do that. Oh,
yeah. I can't tell you how many times I had the thought of can I really do this? Am I really good enough to do this? And then, I look back at it now and I can totally see where the enemy was. He's so patient, you guys, and he knows exactly what your insecurities are, and he plays on those. Yeah. And if I would have kept silent, I probably would have quit my job. But instead, I went to people that I know that love me and support me. And, I didn't let that happen.
Yeah, I will say with that, I went through some struggles too when I first started, and you were great in those situations because you were real with me, and you were like, listen, this is probably what you're experiencing, and this is what, and so you just were, able to come alongside me and say, it's pretty normal when the enemy sees, big things happening in our church and in our ministries. And so being able to have someone in that is, we don't need to go through things alone. We try and we think we know best, but honestly, there's someone else that's gone through it or going through it, and we need to rely on that, someone that has like-minded in the word.
One of the great things from both of your stories, and I know I've shared on this podcast my own story, is that God uses the things in our past and in ways that we sometimes would ever see. Oh, yes. Because Heather, when you talk about, I worked in HR, well, you oversee 50 some people a week. I know your overall size of your team is in the hundreds of people, and I absolutely see you doing the thing that you had experienced doing before, but doing it here and doing it for the church and for the Lord. And the same thing with you, Lindsay. For both of you, when I heard that you guys were coming on staff, it was like, oh man, how did we get that lucky? Like really, we always tease, we tease, if you've listened to our podcast, Pastor Keith was selling contact lenses before he got into youth ministry. And there's a lot of wonderful parallels that he has in his story. I would encourage you, if you didn't, go back and re-listen to that episode. But just the idea from a person who had been on staff, I think I'd probably been on staff about 5 years when both of you came on. And knowing you, because we've known each other for a while, but seeing you guys in the roles that you're in today, it's like, oh yeah, that's a natural. How did we trip into that one? And again, it's just the Lord using each individual's their background, their passion, the thing that helps drive them, but using it for His purpose.
Thanks, Dom.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to give Dom a little. He is sitting in the not comfy chair. There's 2 comfy chairs in here, and he gave it to the ladies, and he doesn't have the big microphone. So what a gentleman.
If we had cameras, you guys would see I have, actually, I'm using one of the janky mics that Pastor Ross and I used to use when we first started this podcast.
Oh, man.
And in one of the folding chairs that we first had. So we've come a long way since then.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions for you guys, just to help people get to know you a little bit more on a personal basis. Lindsay, what's your guys' favorite vacation spot as a family?
Oh, man. Can we just go Florida in general? We go, okay. We go every year for spring break. Chad does have a brother and sister-in-law that are in the Sarasota area. But we like to, it's funny because we're looking at where we're going this year, and Emerson wants to go back to a certain spot that we've been, and we typically find something new. So we just like exploring different areas. So we don't have Florida. Yeah.
Warm weather.
Warm weather, yes.
On a day like today, the day we're recording, I think it's about 10 degrees outside. That sounds really good.
It does.
How about you, Heather? Favorite vacation spot or place you guys like to visit?
We actually try to do like a beach vacation, and then the next year we'll do a mountain vacation or just somewhere different. We've pretty much decided we're never going to go to the same place. Because we want our kids, as much as we can, to be able to see different places.
That's great. I would say for me in my stage of life, it's getting to be wherever my kids are. That's where I want to be. Because my kids have all moved out of the house. You guys both have kids at home. My wife and I are officially empty nesters. It's us and the dog. So whenever we travel, it's really, we want to make sure that we're seeing our kids. Now, it's not to say there might not be a European trip in our future at some point in time, because when you have kids, those big trips you can't usually do those. Now that we have this thing, and those of you who are empty nesters and who have raised your children and gone through all of those things will understand the next words that I'm going to say. We have disposable income that my children have not spoken for when it comes to athletics or driving or cell phones or all of the other things that our kids find ways for us to spend our money. Now, I will say this. My daughter called me up yesterday. And one daughter sent me a sad face picture, and the other daughter called me because they were together. Dad, will you pay for lunch? Now, of course, the answer was yes.
Oh, of course.
But they ganged up on me, and I couldn't say no. They knew that.
They know what to do.
Well, and they know they got to call Dad, right?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Dad's a sucker.
They did.
Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
They've, like you said, they're grown.
Yes.
They have had a lot of experience here with you, knowing what to do. Good job, girls.
Yes, good job, girls. What about a favorite food?
Oh, man. I've been up in our rotation. It looks like I'm up. Yeah. Oh, favorite food. Like that tastes good or that's good for me?
No. I will clarify. Clarifying statement.
Sure.
Not that's good for you. I'm going out to dinner. It is a cheat night. I don't care about diet, calories, whatever. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to order whatever I want.
Oh, man. Probably a pasta dish.
Okay.
I mean, I like Alfredo.
Oh.
I like, I need to be chicken. But yeah, like from a good a good, not
a chicken parmesan.
Like
that is like my
a real,
favorite.
real good Italian. Definitely.
Well, and Heather, you just kind of...
I did.
Chicken parm?
Chicken parm is my favorite, especially like authentic, like
Yes,
something really good.
exactly.
And seriously, anything with sugar in it, I've got a real problem.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Wow.
I remember forever ago, you used to lead the small groups,
Yes.
which Heather kind of does those.
That's
But this
true.
was a long, long time ago, and Chad and I would lead some led small groups a couple times, but I remember in a meeting that we had that was kind of getting to know you, Dom revealed his dark, deep secret about ice cream.
Oh, wow. For those of you that have gone, yes. So I will say that just backing up a little bit, I did, when I first came on staff here, I was the discipleship pastor, and the small groups, we really didn't have any, and that was my heart and passion for our church, was to see people grow in their relationship with the Lord. Heather has really, that's one of the things you didn't talk about.
It was one of the things I didn't talk about.
I like to call you the discipleship director because you really do. You have created a whole, and I'll say it's with other people, but you are responsible for the program that we have that really takes people from on a Sunday morning when somebody raises their hand and says, I want to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And we all know that, Pastor Ross invites people to come out to a room. People don't know, but that's with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, me, and a lot of times it's Pastor Steve, or we have a different volunteer that's in there. But yeah, I really do get the honor of walking them from when they raise their hand and then through our Grow with God discipleship program, which extends into so many other opportunities of connection. So whether it's a connection group or classes that are going to help you grow in your faith.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun
It
to get
is.
to do that.
And because you do that now, it's also freed me up to take on different responsibilities here at the church. Most of you know me as the tech director and also our community outreach pastor. But if it, again, I look at where God has brought us and the people that have come onto our staff and that are just part of our church family, that are really committed to serving God in any way that they can and in the best way that they can. And it just amazes me. Mm. So I do have to ask Lindsay, though, do you remember my favorite flavor of ice cream?
I want to say mint chocolate chip.
No.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's butter pecan. You seem like a butter pecan kind of guy.
For starters, that is half of it. Which
you get like one scoop and one scoop.
Yes.
Is that what you need to do? There's a combination. How did you set me up?
Okay. It's butter pecan and it's cookie dough.
Okay.
Interesting.
That combo. Wow.
I used to work at Cran Hill Ranch, and I was actually in charge of the snack shop there. So I got to sample all the ice creams. But yeah.
Did someone make a mistake one day and the two were put together and you ate the... I worked at an ice cream shop for a long time and those mistakes were...
So there's
free.
Two things that I've learned. I never grew up on the west side of the state. I've learned that if you grew up on the west side of the state, you love butter pecan ice cream.
Okay.
Also, when you reach a certain age, I think that it's just like...
it's acceptable.
Just like I got my AARP card the mail a week ago. Once you hit like 50, butter pecan just becomes a staple. But I love butter pecan and I love cookie dough.
And the combo is just...
you can get a scoop of each. And now my children make fun of me a lot. Pastor Ross will make fun of me for butter pecan.
That is so funny.
But
I think Jeremy's with you on the butter pecan, though.
It's fantastic.
Hey, you dated AARP, though. You just threw that out there.
I did.
Ouch. I thought, Dom, a couple months ago, I found out how I thought you were...
No. I get those of you, if you're part of our fourth quarter ministry, you know that I will often peruse the snacks at fourth quarter. I make sure that when the fourth quarter meets here at church, I happen to be working late that night. And there are a couple members of the fourth quarter that have actually carded me for not being old enough to be part of the fourth quarter, but yet eating your snacks because there are always tasty treats there. But yes, I turned 50 this year, so I can officially become a member of the fourth quarter, and I can take their treats
and not feel bad.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Tom.
Well, thanks, I guess.
Reached a level of life.
Yeah.
Oh.
So another question that I have, and Pastor Ross and I go back and forth about this all the time. Pineapple on pizza.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I grew up with it, and it was something in my family. So I think Ava, our middle child, will go somewhere, those little tiny pizzas at Hungry Howie's, and we got a couple of them. And so it's like one topping, she'll choose pineapple. I need ham pineapple. I do like bacon too, but she'll just choose pineapple.
Okay.
Yeah. We're raising them right.
Hot pineapple is disgusting.
Yes. Oh, you guys are a team over here.
It's kind of like those BLT pizzas. How do you eat hot lettuce?
Whoa. What? No. The lettuce isn't hot.
Oh, it's
they
always
throw
hot.
it on.
They put it on there. You get it home and it's soggy hot lettuce. Gross.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with that. I do love a good BLT pizza, but you fresh, like I understand.
Yeah, sure.
I understand. But yeah, hot pineapple is garbage.
It is. And they're using like canned pineapple. That's gross. Yeah. Come on.
Do you like for holidays when there's a ham cooking, have you ever had that? You've never put pineapple on your ham and cooked it?
Yeah, that's detestable to the Lord. And I'm pretty sure that's against the Geneva Convention. No, there is no. Yes, I had it. Yes, I have. Do I like it? No, I do not.
Sam, I am.
And I grew up in a time when you ate what was in front of you, or you didn't eat.
And now you have the choice.
Yeah.
And now you choose no.
I choose
that's okay.
No.
Not everyone gets to enjoy the finer things of life, and that's okay too.
I didn't know that not having to eat hot dog water pineapple was the finer things in life.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we are really off script today, guys. And those of you that have listened to this podcast know that Pastor Ross would join with you, Lindsay. He has an affinity for ham and pineapple pizza. I, on the other hand, do not. I don't know if it's just I was raised right or just what it is, but that's just the way life is.
That's okay. We can agree to disagree.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Hey, I do have one more question for you guys before we go today. If you could, just what is your favorite thing about being part of community here at Res Life?
I'd say my favorite thing is honestly the family feel. It really is the connections and the Sundays. I know Allison says it a lot. She's like, it's our favorite day. And I didn't understand it. Like we said, we've been tending here for 10 years and working on a Sunday and it being, yes, I'm on staff. And so it's a work day for us, but it's still a day where it's serving. Like that is a ministry day and it really is my favorite day. And you guys probably feel the same, but just having everybody in the building together and being able to just connect and feel like we're going in the same direction in our ministry and in our church. It just feels great. It's a good family feel.
How about you, Heather?
I really have to agree.
Yeah.
It's the connections with people, and I get to have all of these different relationships, and I stand right by the door, so I get to see people walking in. And if you know me, I love hugging, and I try really hard to ask if it's okay, but I'll probably just come and hug you someday because sometimes people say no, and that's okay. But I love the people that come in, and I love helping people be seen, and because I've been in the situation where you hadn't been seen. Yeah. And just having that and then making connections and friends. And this might be the only day I get to see them because we're all so busy all the time. And it's a real connection. It isn't that surface level stuff that you get at other places. And that just means a lot to me.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that, anybody who calls this their church home I'm sure would echo that same sentiment. The idea that, there are a lot of people here, but boy, there are people here that care about you, that want, the best for you. I have individuals that I'm so thankful for, who would probably not be people that on a regular part of my life I would interact with, but because we all have the common thing that we are all growing toward the Lord, that I get to see them every week here at church, and we get to do life together. And the amazing people that God has brought into my life, because we decided to attend this church and really to call this church our home, are relationships that I will, cherish forever. And ultimately, they help me grow toward the Lord as much, probably more than I help them. And I think that's the one thing that we're all striving for. We all want community. We all want, like Pastor Ross talks about every Sunday, when he says, "I see you." But the most important thing is that God sees you, and to know that fact that we are seen by others, we are loved, and we are seen by a Father in heaven who loves us and cares for us. That's ultimately, that's what we're all here for. Well, we are getting about to our time, and I just want to thank Lindsay and Heather. I want to thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day and filling in for Pastor Ross, who hopefully will be here with us next week. Now, I will not put either one of you guys on the spot. Even though we are in a message series on prayer, it is actually my turn to close us out in prayer this week. So, Heavenly Father, I just thank you so much for the people that you put in our lives. I thank you so much for the staff here at the church, for the individuals who have dedicated their time and their talents to serving you. I thank you so much for the individuals that we get to come into contact with each and every week, whether they're out in public or they're here in church. The individuals that you put in our path that we get to share your love with. God, every day we look for opportunities to share your love with others. And I pray for each person who listens today that you would give them an opportunity each and every day to share your love with somebody who needs it, to see it and to hear it and to feel it. And we do all that in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Hey guys, we want to thank you for being part of our podcast. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and also at rlcbr.org. Have a great week.